So I've just returned from an epic trip through Botswana and Namibia. You can see the car hasn't even been cleaned yet. But before I unpack everything, I actually want to walk you guys around a little bit, show you how we've set up, because we were traveling with 3 people and that really did kind of change how I packed the vehicle. And I thought there might be some valuable information, and you can see how I've utilized the space in my vehicle. And yeah, let's begin. First of all, I think let's start at the back, because the back is the main area where there's a lot of stuff to cover. But I want to make this video quite quick. So let's get going. Let's start on the side of the canopy here. We've utilized this space in here a lot. This is where we actually keep the EasyOn chairs. We've got 3 of those stacked up here nicely. I keep my clothing bag here. When I arrive at camp, my clothing bag comes out. I put it on the front seat, and then we've got a bit of extra space in here. In terms of the cupboard here, the Indiflate is nice and accessible, but everything that's accessible here is not necessarily needed at camp, because once my ladder goes up, I don't want to have to open this cupboard again. So this is all stuff that we generally need quick access to while we're on the road. Underneath here, we actually have, I've got all my tools and spares and things like that is all under here. And then I'll show you on the other side how we've got like our camping equipment for my uncle Andy and for my dad, if they wanted to have their own camping equipment, how we've got that all packed in there. But basically, this space was quick access. I don't want to have to fiddle to get to things. It's easy. You can see even with all the stuff in here, I can still lift up here and access, just by pulling out my clothing bag, access my tools and stuff, which we needed to do when we change a tire and when things happen. That's basically just a quick rundown of the side here. Air compressor, tire deflators, simple stuff. Obviously, we got the max tracks on the door as well. And these we didn't have to use for recovery purposes, but we use almost every single day at camp just to help level out the vehicle. So it is also good to have something like this around. Let's swing around the back and I'll show you what's happening here. So around here, yes, things have changed a little bit. There's a spare wheel carrier now. We put it on specifically for the trip. We've kept a little shovel on here just in case. We used it once for moving some coal around. Didn't have to really use it for much else. And this is where the fun starts. We've really had to be quite particular with how we're packing everything here, because we got 3 people. So we need water for 3 people, we need clothing bags for 3 people, we need food for 3 people. And that really means you've got to be quite precise with how you actually pack your stuff. So first of all, we've got 2 jerry cans, 40 liters of water. These would come out when you're at camp. Then we'd have a little box of just useful stuff, which would be things related to maybe the campfire, putting up tents, washing dishes, things like that, which would also come out of the vehicle when we get to camp. And then we have our dry bread and our cooking stuff. This also comes out every day when we get to camp. Then we've got all of this space here to basically use to put stuff from the drawers, where we'll have everything we need for our cooking, sauces, bread, coffee, all the little things, pots and pans, all that stuff stored over there. Something very cool here is we actually got bags that fit specifically on top of the fridge cage. So we could chuck in 2 bags there, laundry bag, boots, and another bag in there, really utilizing this space. So I took out the cargo net that I usually have in there, and we've really been using the space on top of the fridge. And it's light stuff, so it's not going to put a little too much, kind of weight on top. Solar panel, the Jackery Solar Saga 100. It's always easy to get to if we needed just a little bit of extra power if we're staying at camp a little bit longer. Then obviously our fridge, all beautifully stored in the Bushtec drawer system. It really does make camp life such a dream. Just having everything organized has been fantastic. And I must say, my National Luna has been bulletproof this trip. We've had ice in the freezer the whole time. We've had our meat frozen, fresh veggies and everything. Nice ice cold beers every day. So it's been a real privilege to use such a fantastic fridge. It's really, really nice. We've got our water system here, just to have a hose for a bit of extra water on a little pump. Use it to shower, wash hands, all of that stuff. So it's actually a real easy and nice thing to have. A little bush deck table, which kind of just stored in the side there. This I put on the side of the canopy there, where we're going to go and have a look. And whether I'm busy working on my laptop or we're doing some cooking, we're boiling some water for a cup of coffee, that's come in handy multiple times. So it's been great. All of the stuff in here has been powered by the National Lunar 25 amp DC to DC charger, and that's hooked up with a 115 amp AGM battery. And that basically is our hard power. That's everything for the fridge, for the lights, all the stuff going on there. And that is also responsible for charging around the corner here, which let's check out the next cupboard here. The dual battery system is responsible for keeping the Jackery all charged up. The Jackery then is responsible for everything else, and this is our portable power, because what I love with the Jackery is it's literally unplug your main power and you're busy sitting at your table or you're sitting wherever you need to be, boom, you've got your power out of the vehicle now. So that's awesome. So if that needs to be charged by solar, we can do that. If that needs to be, we want to charge some stuff, or we want to work on a table or something instead of around the vehicle, we can do that very, very easily. So on the Jackery, we've got our USB chargers, we've got DC outlets, we've got AC power up to 500 watts on the pure sine wave inverter. So we've got everything we need, and it really, I don't think we've ever seen this thing drop below 30%. And that is charging radios, charging head torches, torches, camera batteries, running laptops, everything. They've been bulletproof on this trip, and it's really been a really solid product to have. And then otherwise in this cupboard, that's where we're going to keep all those little fiddly electronics and stuff, camera batteries. We've got some coffee and a little burner here just to get to quickly, a lighter, some pegs to peg down the awning, and the little shower cube on the side there. And then inside here, this ammo box has basically got fiddly things in it, like that we would need out of the vehicle that are low value. Gas bottles, toilet paper, a mallet, things like that, an extension cord. Stuff that we can leave out at the camp, and it's not the end of the world if we go away from the camp that we have to pack it away. So we'll keep towels and stuff here as well a little bit. When this ammo crate comes out, so I mean all of this stuff will come out at camp. So we get to camp, that comes out, we open up here, and this is where everyone's stuff is for the tents, for their mattresses and everything. So this is for my uncle Andrew, his tent setup, my dad's tent setup. I've got a backup tent setup in case something happened and I needed to do it. And we've got 3 mattresses, sleeping bags, blankets. It's actually incredible what we've managed to fit in here, but we are using all the first ascent hiking tents. So they are really lightweight, they take up minimal space, and we've got some really nice mattresses in there. So I'll show you that. Basically then, I mean, we've got the bush deck table in here. We've got first aid underneath this cupboard. We've got medicine. We've got little extra things that we might need, chargers and stuff like that to charge the batteries from mains power and things like that. So basically this back setup has been bulletproof. We've just been really using every little square centimeter of it every single day, and it's been fantastic. It's also the source of all of our lighting and stuff like that. So we get to camp and we open up the amber district or the red light district every night. It's fantastic to keep the bugs away, and you set up a dummy light outside your campsite to draw all the bugs there, and then you run on your amber and your red lights when you're at camp, and it really helps a lot. Anyways, in terms of our other big items on the vehicle, we got to look at the roof and see what's going on there. The biggest thing for us, we use every single day in one way or another. The sun out there was absolutely brutal in Namibia and Botswana, and having a good awning, whether it's stopping for a quick lunch, to stand and have a beer, to sit at camp, whatever, the awnings were coming out. The Batwing 270 is so easy to use, so it's just to set it up quickly, pack it away quickly, it's effortless. So that's been something that's been highly valuable to have on the trip as well. let's have a look on the other side of the vehicle. I'll show you there another thing that's been super useful. So on the other side, we've got the EasyOn Cube. This has been really nice just to have a bit of privacy, whether it's to have a shower, whether it's to get changed, whatever you need. It's just nice to have. The way I've got a position that sits forward, so my ladder from the rooftop tent can still go up. So if I do want to have this fully set up at a camp, peg it all down, my ladder can operate independently of the cube. And I don't need anything in this cupboard when this is up. So I don't need to access here. Everything that's in here is already out or on the driver's seat of the vehicle in the case of my clothing bag. So this has been really, really nice to have. Also easy to set up, quick to use, and it works like a bomb because you've got lots of space in there. It's not all pokey. You can have a nice shower, you can get changed easily, and it works really, really well. Obviously, on the top here has been the business for me on this trip, and it's the rooftop tent. It's the EasyOn Blade, and my dad and I have been sleeping in there really comfortably most of the nights on the trip. A couple places where we'd stay for a couple nights, he'd just set up the ground tent, and then I'd stay in the rooftop tent, and that worked really nicely. But I was really impressed that two big grown men, both of us are over 6 foot, both of us are like over 100 kilos. We can both sleep in there comfortably next to each other, and that was actually very impressive. Even on the nights where it got hot, you just put up the fly nets, you leave open the windows, and you just let the air flow through, and you get a beautiful night's sleep. You can still see the stars through the fly net, and it was really a spectacular experience. I highly recommend one day if you get the opportunity to get a hard shell rooftop tent like the EasyOn Blade, go for it. It really changes up the camping and overlanding lifestyle. It's easy to set up. You don't have to set up when you get to camp. You can set it up when you're ready to go to bed. It's 2 clips, it's up, you get the ladder out, you put it up, it's good. Once you get in the rhythm of setting it up and breaking it down, you know that when you pack it up, how to make it easier for yourself when you set it up again. So I must say, the stuff from EasyOn has been faultless on this trip. It's really been solid. Next up, things inside the vehicle that we used. I love a lot. Let's chat about that. So on the inside, things that have really been invaluable on the trip are my Garmin Overlander. Trusty, reliable, I absolutely love it. It's a machine. It's taken us everywhere we've needed. It hasn't skipped a beat. We've been able to find all the campsites we've needed, all the little trails and paths we've needed. So that's been really, really awesome, and I do love it. Something else that we've got here is the Garmin Tread. I found that was a lot better at picking us up on little trails and tracks when we were on the Makati Pans and we were trying to find our way to Kubu Island. The GPS technology on the Garmin Tread just locked onto us so much more accurately for little things. So that was actually very interesting to see. And I mean, that is what it's designed for. It's designed for more power sport, for going out with ATVs and things like that and doing trails together with other people. So that it really performed well in that sense. But for me personally, when it comes to the overlanding side of things, the Overlander is it's feature packed. It's just perfect for me, for my needs. Another thing that's been awesome and protected us quite nicely from getting a real blowout on when I got my puncture was our N-Gauge 4x4 app with the tire pressure monitor sensors that we use regularly every single day to keep an eye on the tire pressures and to make sure that we don't have any blowouts or anything like that. And they've been spectacular on the trip. We've had one of them somehow it's leaking a bit of air, so we've removed that one temporarily. But I do have a couple spare that I'm going to use, and we'll just send that one back and see what the problem is with it. It might just be a little bit of grit, of dirt, or something from the dust storm that got in there and is leaking a bit of air through there. Something else that's been amazing, let me grab it here, is the InReach Mini. And this we've been using to track ourselves, and we've actually been sharing the map with all our loved ones at home, and they've been able to follow us on our journey everywhere we go. Every night we get to camp, we check in, and they can see that we've arrived at camp safely. One of the days we had to check in a little bit delayed, but that everything is okay. And if we do need help for whatever reason, something really bad goes wrong, I have got my insurance broker, Fricky, who will get in touch with Cross Country Insurance, one of our sponsors for the trip, and they can come and actually recover us wherever we might be because we don't need cell phone signal, we can actually communicate via satellite. So their cross-border repatriation works beautifully if you get yourself something like this on a trip. It'll really, it can come in handy when you need it. For us, it's just been there, it's been reliable, fully charged. We have it ready to go whenever we need. We can keep in touch with everybody. I upgraded my inReach plan so that I could send a bit more messages and I could permanently track the entire trip and share it with everybody back home. So that's been fantastic. It's been a spectacular trip. I've got to use my vehicle in so many different ways, and I've really gotten to see its true potential, and it's been fantastic. It really has. It's been an experience of a lifetime. I've got to share it with incredible people, and I hope I could give you a little bit of a glimpse into how we set up the vehicle, give you a little bit of inspiration for how you do your own, and maybe see a bit more versatility in your own vehicle at home. That's that for the Namibia and Botswana trip. And I just want to say thank you so much to the sponsors for getting involved and making this all possible. And thank you so much to you guys for tuning in week after week and watching the episodes. It's been such a privilege to share this amazing adventure with you guys. Anyways, I better go and get the salt off of this vehicle as soon as possible. So we'll check you on the next adventure, whenever that might be. Cheers.